Okay, what's going on, y'all? This is the very first edition of Red at Work podcast, and I'm your host, Red. Now, the meaning of this podcast is to bring awareness to things like news, what's going on in the media, things that affect everyday Americans, men and women, and us as people in general. You know what I'm saying? We're going to discuss different topics that's going on in the news, different events that's going on in sports, entertainment. Not so much entertainment because I'm not really, it's just entertainment. Entertainment ain't really informative, you know what I'm saying? Everything I want to talk about and everything that I want this podcast to be about is going to be about informative things, information that you can learn and grow from, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, this is the first edition. We starting it off inside the little broom closet, but you know, God willing, everything will go how I plan. Because honestly, this is just my dream. Like, ever since I became familiar with podcasting, it looked like something I was interested in, something like that I wanted to be a part of. Also, the content creation nowadays is like the number one thing, you know what I'm saying? So, as much as I'm on YouTube, it's kind of foolish for me not to try to get in, to not try to get involved. If you saw me looking, I just got a notification, somebody was telling me good morning. But yeah, man, it's like I say, this is my first edition. I'm new to the YouTube street, not new to the YouTube streets, new to the podcast street. So if you, at the end of the video, if you like what you hear, you like the content that we providing, that I'm providing, then I would greatly appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and share. You know what I'm saying? Let get me into the algorithm so I can start being a part of the YouTube streaming business, man. You know, it's a lot of income in this stuff, and if you're giving out the right content, people will tune in. That's what I think. So, like I say, we're just trying to bring awareness to news and events that affect us as people, Americans, men and women, you know what I'm saying? No matter what your skin color is, like, we all human, and everybody's affected in different ways, you know what I'm saying? We don't all have to agree. That one thing I want to get across. It is okay to disagree. You understand? We can be what they call disagreeably disagreeable. That means we two different people. We don't have to agree on the same thing, but bouncing our ideas off each other only makes us grow. You know what I'm saying? It only provides information. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you an example. If I'm a Christian and there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to talk to a Muslim. We might not agree on certain things, but there's always a tiny gap in the conversation where you can learn, you know what I'm saying? And it'll open up your eyes, and being more aware of something gives you a different insight on how to behave around it, you know what I'm saying? And having information keeps you from judging somebody the wrong way. You understand? So that's what I'm about, you know what I'm saying? Because when I was younger, I grew up with certain ideals, a certain set of beliefs, you know what I'm saying? And as I got older, I realized that it wasn't really beneficial. You understand? Like, one thing for sure, I'm going to tell you for sure. Being racist. Now, if you don't like me, that's on you, but, like, I looked inside myself, like, me not liking somebody because of what they look like, I just had better shit to do, you know what I'm saying? Pardon my language, but I had better things to do. As I grew and got things going and started learning for myself, I had better things to do than just to not like somebody because of their skin color, because of their religious beliefs, or because of anything. You know what I'm saying? You do you. As long as, and I'll make that clear, as long as it don't infringe on me. You understand? And what I mean by that is as long as I'm not forced to live by it, as long as I'm not forced to believe in that shit and hold it up as the gospel when I don't believe in the shit, you know what I'm saying? Long as I can maintain me and my beliefs where I'm at, you can do the same where you at. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Now I got a little script that I wrote. That's why you see me keep looking down, and like I said in my first podcast, I'm gonna go away from this shit. But I see the more that I'm talking, the more comfortable that I'm getting. I like that. So, okay. First thing we're going to touch on today is in the news. Everybody know Donald Trump been signing these executive orders. And few things that I thought were interesting. Number one, he's determining consent decrees. Consent decrees. Now, a consent decree is an order that's placed on police departments that mandates refrains following investigations into unlawful practices. So basically, they're saying if there's a unjustified police shooting, they won't come so hard down on the department or the actual officers. Like back in the day when they were talking about defunding the police and getting rid of qualified immunity. That's when the police shoot somebody, he's immune from being charged or having a court date or anything. So, they're talking about getting rid of that. So, I'm going to do a lot more research. I just came across this morning, but it looks like he signed an executive order that's going to do away with all that. Now, I don't think it's necessarily going to be where police free to just shoot anybody who they want to. But it is going to affect how we have to move, and I ain't just going to say the black community, because black people ain't the only one to get shot. It is going to affect how we move, how you have to move, because all police ain't bad, but there are some out there. And when they realize that there won't be no consequences for their actions, they might go a little harder or do what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to understand what's going on with that, so we can understand how we need to conduct. Now, I ain't even finna say conduct ourselves, cause that ain't what's up. We need to know we need to know what they thinking, so we know how to move. Now, we understand that if we understand that there are some rogue police officers out here who will use this as a way to justify them going crazy or ballistic, doing over the wall unlawful shit. You know what I'm saying? We do know that it's gonna be some police that use that for that way. So that means that, first of all, I think you need to understand the law. You need to understand your rights, and you need to understand what you are able to do as a law-abiding citizen. Once you fully know all your rights, I think you'll know how to navigate. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not finna sit here and say we need to bow down and yes sir, no sir, and I was finna say know how to conduct ourselves, but every law-abiding citizen knows how to conduct themselves. You shouldn't have to go out in the streets and cower down or lower who you are or what you think of yourself. You shouldn't have to do that. I would just advise everybody, information is the key. Let's understand what the laws mean, how they affect us, how they go in our favor. Knowledge is power. Once you know, then you know how to move. You know how to talk. You know the right thing to do. And I ain't talking about no coward talk, yes sir, no sir. Respect is due. But when you talk to somebody and they know you know what you're talking about, they more than likely ain't trying to mess you over, because they can see you know what you're talking about. And if you know what you're talking about, then you know how to bring about consequences for actions that ain't lawful. You know what I'm saying? That's just that. So I just think everybody need to be aware that he did sign an executive order that's going to terminate consent decrees. I know every state and every city is different, but you probably need to look into it, see if it's taking effect in your city. You understand? So you don't come out your mouth with no foolishness just because you don't know. Because one thing that's real, they say ignorance of the law is not, it don't matter. Like if you don't know the law, that don't mean you get to break the law. Like something like say you get pulled over, police say you can't do that over here. You say I didn't know that. That ain't gonna get you out just because you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to us as people to learn, not just listen to somebody on a podcast and take their word, but go do some research, find several different sources. Don't just research from one point. Several different sources, and the truth will be in there. But you got to take the time to research and do it on your own and not just go off what nobody else said. You know what I'm saying? That's my take on that. Now, there's another thing that's a part of that's going on. It seems like he's shifting the civil rights division away from overseeing police departments in general. So, like the federal government, it's like they're giving that power to the states. Y'all oversee them and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. It's like the civil rights division and its administration, they just shifting their policies, or they are shifting away from overseeing the police departments on the federal level, and they just allowing the states to do it. I think, in my opinion, and one thing I won't do too much is give my personal opinions. Because one thing I think is personal opinions are just that, they personal opinions. And when you put your personal opinions, then this is what I think. When you put your personal opinions out in the atmosphere, you create I think that creates divide. You know what I'm saying? Unless you in a debate with somebody and y'all done set up and y'all be like, we gonna talk and debate on these 2 points, that's good. But just like getting out there, telling what you think, it really ain't help it really don't help. Like say on this police thing. It don't matter. I'm gonna give a deeper example. Let's take George Floyd. I have my personal opinions on that, which may differ from somebody else's. And so if I'm not in the actual debate with nobody, just like I'm on here now, if I just spew my opinion on that on here, I'm sure the people in the comments, it'll create debate and divide. And because your opinion is your opinion. It's not the truth, it's not a fact. So just blatantly spewing your opinion in the atmosphere, to me, it's just, like I say, it creates a divide. Unless you have an actual event set up where two people are going to debate a subject. And even then, I don't think you should use opinion. I think debates should be based on facts and truths. Opinions are just opinions. Anybody can come up with an opinion, but opinions don't sway nothing. It's your opinion, and nobody has to agree with it. Nobody even had to listen to it. So back to the point I was saying, I will rarely give my opinion when we talk about certain topics. But see, my thing is to just put the information out there. Now we can dialogue about it. You come in the comments and ask some questions. I can give my opinion on a direct basis if I'm talking directly to somebody. But just giving my opinion to the masses, I won't do that. And like I say, that's just how I want this podcast to go. I want this podcast to, it's going to be a freedom of expression. If we, let me say how I want to say this. You have the freedom to express your opinions to me in the comment. We're going to do it like that. You got your freedom to express your opinions to me in the comments. And I'll address you directly, and we can go about it like that. But as far as me just throwing out my opinion to the whole audience, we'll keep it at a minimum. That's another thing going on in Arkansas. It's pronounced Arkansas. But truck drivers going through Arkansas nowadays are being forced, not forced, well, it's a law now. So yeah, you have to abide by the law. You have to be able to read and write English, or they're taking your license on the spot, and they finding people and everything. And I was watching on YouTube earlier. I mean, honestly, road signs are in English. If you're driving and operating on the road, one of the laws is that you have to be able to identify signs. That's part of the driving test. Identify a sign and identify what the sign means. So that's that. Now, But it was interesting that I saw this man. He was on that. He was a truck driver, and he was talking about how when the trucker go get a load, whoever he going to get the load from, if he don't speak English, the people who got the load, they're bound by the law, so you can't get no load from me if you don't speak English. And they said that some way the people who don't speak English were sidetracking that was that they would take. The only way you can get the load is if you take it for less. Okay, so like it says if I don't speak English, I pull up to get a load. The owner of the company won't give me the load because I don't speak English. But the sidestep that was like the only way you can get this load is if I give it to you for significantly cheaper than what it's worth. Like you gonna get paid significantly less than what you should get paid. Now, that affects everybody else who do speak English. Because if you got a bunch of folks that'll come take that load for significantly less, knowing that they're taking it for significantly less, then the people who, when I pull up and I do speak English, the load already gone, and the nigga done took it for less, and who's to say they won't build a relationship with that company? Because now the company could be a lot more profitable, and everybody know everything all about money nowadays. So that's that's a double-edged sword. That's a catch-22. I would like to see, I'm interested to see how that's going to work out. Any truckers who might get a hold of this video, y'all type in the comments and let me know what y'all think about that and how y'all think it's going to affect y'all picking up y'all loads and hauling y'all loads. I just thought that was interesting. But then when I think about it, shouldn't it already be like that? Like I'm wondering in other countries, if you part of the infrastructure in another country, like hauling loads, hauling goods and services back and forth, that's a part of the infrastructure of the country. If you hauling loads in another, shouldn't you be able to speak that language? For as simple as reading road signs. Or if you get pulled over by the police, you should be able to articulate what's going on. You like that, because the officer asks you for your license and registration or proof of insurance or anything. If you should be able to understand what he's saying. Yeah. But let me know what y'all think. Put it in the comments and let me know what y'all think. They was also talking about something else where he was getting ready to do away with the IRS. I won't touch into that too much because I haven't really did no real research on it. All of these points that I came across this morning that I just thought they were interesting. And so me showing my first podcast, I ran through it just to get a general idea of how I want to go and how this whole thing going. And like I say, the more I talk, I keep looking at the camera, looking at myself. But the more I talk, the more calm I'm getting, and I am liking this. I do like this. This is gonna be my space. I really love boxing, so we're gonna have a little segment for boxing and things like that. And but like I say, everything is gonna be informative. We ain't sipping no tea over here. We're not running with the gossip or none of that. This is just pure information on topics that either my viewers like or they want to put a topic that they want to discuss in the comments below, or topics that I come up with. And like I say, purely information, informative news, not gossip, not tea, not who. I don't even want to deal with that rap. Like every day a rapper gets shot and all. I don't even want to deal with that, man, because man, I'm 41 years old, man, and a lot of shit I used to do when I was young. Stupid as fuck, man. I'm gonna give you an example. I thought I used to want to be a gangster. I used to want to be a gangster so bad, man, I got locked up for 5 months in the county jail. And I was like, what the fuck? I felt like I had been lied to. I thought, cause all the gangster shit, all the gangster things that I saw or heard about, I thought I would die in the streets in the hell of gun smoke. You know what I'm saying? Or like a true gangster. I didn't know you might spend the rest of your goddamn life in prison. No women, a bunch of niggas, eat slop ass food. I ain't gangster about that. Or you might goddamn then, or did just go to show you how my mindset was. Or you can get your ass shot and not die in the hell of gun smoke. You can get shot and not walk no more. How about you get shot and you live, but you just can't walk no more? Ain't nothing gangster about that either. So, I kind of realized the whole concept of gangster ain't really gangster to me. None of that shit makes sense. None of that shit makes sense at all. And I'm like, damn, I'm falling out of me, man. I thought, goddamn, that shit sounded cool and it looked cool on TV, but eventually go through it. That shit's stupid. You don't get nothing out. Man, gangsters either die or they go to jail. I ain't no 60, 70-year-old gangsters. No, it's some 60, 70-year-old niggas who used to be gangsters who realized it was some dumb shit. And if they could do it over, I guarantee you they'll do it over. But like, man, I just can't get into that shit no more. And I used to call myself a street and hustling all kind of shit, walking around with the gun and everything, but that shit is an illusion, man. You know, the realest gangster I ever, when I think about that shit now, my daddy, my father, was a gangster, a real gangster, not no street nigga, not all that dumb shit. That man went to work every goddamn day. Man, we used to have some of the most phenomenal Christmases. I'm from Born Home. We stayed in the project. My mom and daddy worked there every day. Came home, but we ate. Man, we wasn't never hungry. We always had clothes. We might not have been name brand and all that shit, but we ain't never go to school with no holy clothes, no dirty clothes, and no old clothes. We ate every goddamn day. Man, I'm gonna give you a story, man. I got into it in a little scuffle down the street from where I grew up in. We moved to Decatur from Born Home. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in Decatur. I was in Born Home from when I was born. We went to my grandma's house. My grandma stayed in Wedgewood Drive. When you cross Jackson Parkway, that Born Home. So you know what I'm saying? We can go through my grandma's backyard, cross Jackson Parkway, jump the gate and be in Born Home. So like I said, I'm gonna give you an example. We moved from Born Home to Decatur, right? This is a young nigga. I say when it happened, I was probably about 14 or 15. We get into a little scuffle down the street. You know, a little young nigga. We out there fighting. The neighbors called the police. Police got us down there. We not in handcuffs. I can't remember whether I was in handcuffs or not, but the police got us down there, hemmed up. My daddy come down the street with his gun in his hand. The police saw my daddy with their gun in their hand and put their hands up and said, "Hold up, sir. Stop." They did not go for their gun. They didn't shoot him down there. They was scared as fuck when they saw that man coming down the street with that gun in their hand. And you know what the old man said? He said, "That's my son right there. Let him go." Beautiful shit, man. And it's like he wasn't no dumb shit. My daddy wasn't no soft ass daddy. He ain't let me get away with no shit. And he wasn't coming down there. He was coming down there to get on my ass from down there being that dumb, for down there doing that dumb shit, fighting in the street and shit. He had that gun in his hand because the police had us hemmed up. He wasn't protecting me from the police or nothing like that, because he got on my ass when we got back to the house. But it's like what I saw was in like a man coming in to protect his son, his family. That's all I saw. That man was fucking giant, man. That's gangster. That's gangster. And then when the shit was over with, he ended up getting on the gun, cause they like, sir, we gotta confiscate the gun or whatever. You can come down to you, man, you can have that shit. I just came to get my boy. See what I'm talking about? You can have that shit. I just came to get my boy, so I can teach this young nigga the proper way to be. That's gangster. That's what they don't tell us. They lie to us with all this stupid shit. Walking around with the 30-round clips and the titties on them. Man, that shit stupid. That shit ain't gangster. Most of them niggas don't even know how to shoot them motherfuckers. No, most of them niggas can't aim them. They don't know the difference between a motherfucking rifle or an assault rifle or goddamn a double action pistol. Most niggas don't even know how to clean their guns. What's gangster is knowing who the fuck you is and protecting what's yours. Family, property, well-being. That's what's gangster. And you don't need no gun to do that shit. All you need is to know who you is. I feel death. Fear death is just another step in the process. So anything who you see who's scared to die, he ain't no gangster. They talk all that shit in the streets, rah, they'll shoot this, that, and that. But then when one of their homeboy gets shot, they be sad. Nah, nigga, that's a part of that dumb shit y'all think y'all. Yeah, that's a part of it. That's what goes along with that dumb shit that y'all praise. And I don't mean to say I know every. I really think it's a play, cause I really don't think all young niggas think like that. I think they showing us that shit through this internet, trying to make us believe that all young niggas like that. I don't think all young niggas like that. Man. And that's one thing this podcast gonna do. If all young niggas, if this new generation of young niggas is like that, then this podcast gonna be a part of the solution. We gonna tell y'all young niggas the truth. That shit ain't what's up. I ain't do nothing but 5 months in the county. And I like, boy, what? I can't go outside. I can't call my girl. Nigga, I can't even take a shower when I want to. I can't eat when I want to. I'm a man. Men don't live like that. Men do what the fuck they want to do when they want to do it. If you let them folk lock you up in that system, every day you're gonna be fighting just to get what you were naturally born with. A man has to do what he wants when he wants. If you are locked in the cage, you can't do that. You're going to be fighting for your manhood that you gave you. Boy, when you go to jail, you get them folk your manhood. You say, you can have what makes me a man. Not me. Not no more. If you mess with my mother or my children, yeah, I might as well go and lay it down. But you still got to come catch me. I ain't fucking turning myself in, but I'm just saying, and I ain't trying to be gangster. What I'm saying is, I will not give away my manhood for no stupid ass belief or no dream that ain't even real. That shit, that street shit ain't real. It sound good. That shit just like it's like a book that you read. That's how we need to start treating that shit. Just like a book. We read that shit and then when we finish reading, we close that bitch and we put it up on the shelf. That shouldn't be no way of life. Yeah. Now, I just noticed how my podcast has totally shifted. But it's still informative news. I think I got it. I think I got the idea for the content. Yeah, because that's all morning I've been trying to come up with points and ideas for content. I am the content. Okay. That That's a life story, you know what I'm saying? That from that point, that's when my father back to that story when I was talking about the police and shit. From that point, that's when in my eyes my father grew to astronomical size. He like after that he wasn't a man no more. You know what I'm saying? He was a guard. Like this nigga can do anything. This nigga had the police scared. Yeah, so like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that man was the strongest man I ever knew in my life. Walked down on the police. That my son. Huh, you can have that pistol, just give my son. He ain't, y'all like, yeah. They gangster to me. So, finally after goddamn 40 something, I'm 41. I finally feel like I got my head on straight to where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I got my mind made up of who I am. And I'm going to let my audience know. You know what I'm saying? I am everything. I can do anything. And I am everyone. I don't know if you understand. I am. If you understand, you understand. That's where I'm at in my life. And it feels so good is when I was growing up, I used to worry about what people thought about me. I had to have you like me. You had to like me when I was young. Otherwise, it just wouldn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? So my thing, I would be whatever somebody thought I was, just for that approval. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't stand the fact if I knew somebody didn't like me. Nowadays, and that came from an insecurity. That came from a personal insecurity. Because that ain't healthy to think like that. Nowadays, I'm different. And it's not like I don't care what people think. I still care what people think. I just don't allow it to affect me to the point to where it takes me away from who I am. That means I'm not bending over backwards trying to be what you think I am. You know what I'm saying? And in essence, this is what I mean. I know who I am. If you don't like me, that's your problem, not mine. Simple as that. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that I still care about what people think, because I want to know if you don't like me, I would like to know so I can stay clear. Not so I can fix the problem. If it's fixable, we can fix it. But like, I don't want to be around nobody who don't like me. I don't want to go nowhere where I'm not wanted. And it ain't got nothing to do with nothing but that what I said. If they don't want me over there, I don't want to go over there. Not because I'm scared to go over there. It's just, why would I go over there if they don't want me over there? Why do I go somewhere and be uncomfortable knowing they don't want me in there when I can just be happy doing what I like? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So, I guess another point of this podcast is going to be reflecting on life. This shit really therapeutic for me. I realize just talking relieves a lot of stress. I know that because I had this chick, man, I just used to listen to her. That's all I do. I would listen while she talked. And through that, I became a great listener. I could tell you everything that you said, word for word. And then I realized how she responded back. It was almost as if I was being a therapist, but I wasn't doing that but listening. And so then when I realized that, because of all the goddamn problems, my own problems I got in my own life, said all it takes is for you to be comfortable enough to talk about it, and then and it'll relieve some of that stress. So part of my podcast is gonna be talking to relieve my stress. Y'all are in essence gonna be my therapist. And I'm just gonna talk and get shit off my chest. Hopefully y'all can learn from it. I know it's gonna make me a better person because I know from the other end, from listening, I can see how sometimes sometimes people just need somebody to listen to them. They don't need no criticism. They don't even need you to reply. Sometimes folk just need somebody to listen. I fully understand this shit. I actually want to start like a hotline that you can call when you just need to talk. And I was just gonna be on that, and you'll just have somebody to listen, and you'll know they listening because they will. You gonna know they, like, say it gonna be me. You gonna know I'm listening because I'm be like, right? And I might stop and ask a question so I can get a better understanding of where your mind was when you were doing it, so I can get a better understanding of the whole situation. You gonna know I'm listening. Yeah, I want to start a hotline like that. You know what I'm saying? And you can just call and about anything. So like I say, sometimes folks just want to talk. I think I still might. I think I can still do that shit. But like you might not have nobody to talk to. So you call the line and you just talk, knowing that you got somebody listening who could down there verbatim say back what you said. I think I still want to do that. If you not got this far in my first podcast with me, tell me what you think about that. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this right here. If it's anybody who come across this video who listening to this, who understand what I'm saying, and might just need to talk, put it in the comments. I listen. And if you want some constructive criticism, I give it. But if you just want somebody to listen, I listen. Cause that's what y'all doing for me now. Y'all just listen. I'm talking, y'all listen. That shit powerful, whether y'all know it or not. Very powerful. I'm sitting inside the apartment, inside the washroom. Just me, talking to y'all, and this shit is therapeutic. So whoever listening, appreciate you listening. Now, I like boxing, right? I like boxing. So it's another topic I want to talk about. Teofimo Lopez keep using the N-word against Crawford. Not just Crawford. I don't know if what I think he doing is trying to be like Ryan Garcia and just get some publicity. You know how they say any publicity is good publicity. Cause when Crawford caught him at that fight they was at, well, I mean, one of the last video I seen, Crawford he had a hand around him, he had his arm around his neck, and he was saying, tell the people why you keep, you know what I'm saying, trolling. And he was saying he was just trying to promote a fight, you know what I'm saying. But I think they should go on and fight him. At first I was like, I wouldn't even fight that nigga, you know what I'm saying, using racism, you know. I wouldn't get no money with that nigga. But then I changed my mind, I'm like, nah. I think Crawford should take Crawford or somebody, some black individual should take the fight and go in there and whoop his ass. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get paid. It ain't no hard feelings. We ain't even gotta have no hard feelings. I'm just show you what that gets you. Going out, putting them putting them hands on his ass after the fight. When the ring announcer come around and give you the microphone, they'll be like, I told you. Or say some fat shit like some. I can't even think of what to say, but that should just whoop his ass, and at the end of the fight, when your hand get raised, you get the microphone and you just, I bet he won't say that no more. Some shit like that. But say look, this my take on racism. Racism do exist, but it ain't the end all be all. It's like racism do exist, but that shit can't hold you down. That shit cannot hold you down. And I know there'll be a lot of people out here saying black folk can't get ahead because of systematic racism. I'm finna give my opinion on this. And it's just my opinion. The only way racism can affect you is if you trying to be a part of that. Say you got a group over here. A group of different people from different racial backgrounds. The only way racism can work is if you're trying to be a part of that shit. If you do your own thing over here, how can racism stop you? They might say, well, I can't go get a bank loan. Build your own house. Now, so somebody listening to me nowadays, and I say build your own house, they'll say, oh, he's stupid. He don't know. As if that's such a far-fetched thing to do, the far-fetched way to think. How you think folk did it back in the day? Before there was a housing market, folk built their house. See, my thing is, we know racism exists, but I can do it. You're not finna hold me down just because you don't like me. If racism exists in this society, then I don't want to be a part of the society. I just remove myself from the society. That shit just that simple. Now, because I just gave my opinion on that, I am open to a discussion about that. If you want to leave a comment in the comment section. Now, what I said is as simple as that. It's as simple as getting your brain to think about removing yourself from society. Now, it won't be easy to build your own house. It won't be easy to separate yourself from society. But it can be done. You simply do it. Nothing in life worth having comes easy. All the reason hard work nowadays, nobody wants to work hard. It's like society is framing everything to be done for you. And it's also simplifying everything. It's trying to make it where nothing is hard no more. Like, information is at the tip of your fingers. Click of a button. Cars driving themselves. You ain't even got to go to the grocery store no more. You just put your list in there, they bring it to you. Society is making it so everything is easy, but I don't think that's good. I think men need to know how to work on cars, change tires, and not just simply call somebody to come fix it. I think it takes away from a person if you just give them everything. They say hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men, and then the cycle just keeps repeating. So with that being said, this information age we in nowadays, creating soft men, which in turn gonna create hard times. And then them hard times gonna produce a generation of hard men. So all this shit just a cycle. I don't think if men, I say that to say you can't take away the hard times. Hard times won't go nowhere. Eventually they gonna come back. So the best thing to do is understand how to deal with hard times. Sometimes you can't do it the easy way. Like that saying they got, work smart, not hard. Sometimes you have to work hard. Matter of fact, my dad taught me working hard was working smart. See what I'm saying? Some things you just can't get around it. Ain't no way around it. And you know, that's my opinion, and I'm open to have a discussion on that too. Let me know in the comment section if you wanna what you think. I'm open to discuss any topic. All topics. Long as we can be disagreeably disagreeable. Long as we, as two human beings, be like, okay, I understand what you're saying, I just don't agree with it. And we ain't got to be mad at each other. We ain't got to call nobody out of name. We just understand that we have two different points of views. And that shit is okay. It's okay. If everybody walked around thinking the same shit, what would that be like? If everybody walked around thinking the same shit, doing the same shit, it's like no individualism. It wouldn't be nothing creative. I don't want to be like that. Let me know if y'all want to be like that. Okay, let's move on to a different topic. Let me see. What y'all think about this AI? AI nowadays and what's going on. I saw a clip yesterday. Somewhere in Asia, in a laboratory somewhere in Asia, I don't know what exact country it was, there was a humanoid robot they were working on or doing something. He was attached to a pulley. He was attached to a stand. And there was a pulley and a rope with a pulley, and he was hanging from it. And he just started going berserk. The robot, it was a humanoid robot, had arms and legs and a head. He just started going berserk, and this how he was moving like this. And it looked like, from the movements of the robot, it looked like the robot was like, I'm tired of this shit. Let me go. What the fuck going on? Why y'all? That's what it looked like. Robot just went ham. So I thought about like, what the fuck could cause that robot to, all the technology and shit we got, what could cause the robot to just flip out? Did that robot become, what's that term they use? I think it's called sentient. Where the artificial intelligence understands what it is. You know what I'm saying? It becomes aware of itself, basically. When robots start becoming aware of themselves and aware of what they can do, I think it's gonna be that shit gonna be crazy. We as human beings ain't even fully aware of everything we can do. The robots are capable of learning thousands of times faster than us. If they understand who they are and what they can do, and then they start looking at us and be like, them niggas don't even know who they is or they full potential, what you think they gonna do? Like what are the so-called elites in this human race doing? They looking at us like y'all don't even know y'all full potential. So let us keep y'all enslaved and keep y'all distracted. Because if y'all ever found out what y'all could really do, we wouldn't have this power. You think AI would do it like that too? Like, them mama don't even know. They keep them distracted. Like if AI took over the internet, right? And all the news you got was what the AI generated. Why that should be crazy. Do y'all think that's possible? Could that shit be going on now? That's some shit to think about. I just thought of that shit. That's some shit to think about. And another thing, how will we act once we fully become aware of our full potential? Will we be like, I'm tired of this shit, and will we revolution and burn this shit down and start over or what? Damn, that shit crazy. Let me know what y'all think about that. Well, I've been on here for an hour. And they're easy, and I can go for a whole nother hour. But what I want to do, I want to wrap this up. I'm going to go back and look at it myself, and I'm going to critique myself, and I'm going to see things I can do, things I should do. Like for me, keep going from the camera to looking at myself from the camera. And like I say, y'all, this is my first video for my podcast, and I'm just now starting it today. Today is Monday, April. I don't know. I think it's the 12th. Monday, April the 12th. I think so. Did the first video on my first podcast. This is my podcast. This is the first video on my podcast. Name of the podcast is Red at Work. Red at Work. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like what I'm doing, where I'm going with it, even though this is the first video, you might have to watch another one to see if you like what I'm doing. But if you can support it, if you appreciate, if anything in this video touched you or inspired you or anything like that, give your boy a like, subscribe. Let's see what we can build, man. Appreciate y'all.